There are a few things that Dota players fear more than having a techies in their game.
Oh no. Oh no.
But the hero which has found shared hatred from the community
Why are you running? Why are you running?
is finally on the cusp of breaking through as a mainstream pro pick. Recent changes to both the game and the hero has made players across all brackets realize that the trio of goblins is indeed viable. The hero offered very little across most stages of the game, but over time, Valve has made some key changes to ensure that the hero finds more and more playtime. So exactly what has changed that makes the hero a solid choice? And how do you make yourself the terrifying techies player that your opponents always seem to have?
Now, I can't teach you how to play a good Techies. You're born with that, deep inside your soul.
One of the hero's weakest aspects was laning. With one of the poorest attack animations and damage, laning was virtually non-existent for the hero, who mostly had to play mind games with the enemy and stay in the trees to get XP.
I might have done a miscalculation on that one, boys.
Many friends.
I did not think I would take so much damage.
A simple sentry in the safe lane was enough to negate the impact of techies, and as long as the rest of the opponent heroes played static in their lanes, there was little that techies had to offer. It basically meant that the offlane was more or less solo, but also that the ally safe lane was a dual lane, while the enemy team had all 5 heroes to lane with. However, in patch 7.0, with the addition of Blastoff, the laning stage for techies became exponentially better. Blastoff provides one of the highest damaging nukes at level 1 with 300 AoE damage, and coupled with a stun or a slow, can force out a big amount of regen and even get a kill right from the start. As the laning stage progresses, even if Blastoff is mistimed or missed, heroes are rarely able to capitalize as they can't really chase techies into the fog due to proximity mines. The AoE silence also makes for a great disengage spell to deter opponents from going on the offlaner, and it's a great spell that has both offensive and defensive capabilities. In patch 7.20, the loss of the base mana regen caused some challenges for the hero, but it did buff base intelligence, strength gain, and base health regeneration. In 7.21, base intelligence gain was further increased to 3.3, while the mana cost for remote mines was reduced significantly across all levels. Patches 7.21c and 7.22 saw further buffs to the hero with an increase to base mana regeneration and a reduction in remote mines cooldown. The hero sits in a good place in the mid-game and can offer tons of map control with smart placement of mines. While proximity mines and stasis trap both have offensive capabilities, the fact that you can't smoke into a team with techies because of these two can often make the game increasingly hard. Furthermore, the possibility of remote mine stacks can limit the map control that the enemy has and take away even more space from them.
What are they doing behind the
He was
tower?
trying to be smart.
To top it all off, both the spells work through invisibility as well. Additionally, the limit to the number of sentries now means that the enemy team is forced to either sacrifice on dewarding or give up an entire lane or an area of the map, or even worse, are forced to invest in a risky early gem pickup to even have a chance of contesting. The talents at level 10 and 15 are very conducive to improve the hero's early to mid-game presence, and the 30% XP gain at level 10 accelerates the hero's scaling. By level 15, 6 mana regen becomes quite useful in constantly using your mines, while at level 20, the plus 150 GPM talent allows techies to go for key items depending upon the situation of the game. Sure, you've come past the laning stage in the mid-game, but a win in the game of Dota hinges on the ability to go high ground. Techies offers mines in this scenario, which can do 200 damage a pop to towers. It is also not the riskiest to go and plant mines at the tier 3, since Techies isn't the biggest loss, especially if a teamfight breaks out. If the hero does reach 25, you can even plant the remote mines a bit further back and move them with the creep wave to help take the tower. Defending with Techies is a breeze, and you can drain chaos on the enemy team without knowing what hit them. Yes, this video makes it seem like Techies can be a nightmare to play against. but there are ways to deal with the hero and outplay him. If the hero is shown early in the pick phase, Furion, Enigma and Beastmaster are great options for playing against the Techies. However, you'll need to be careful when utilizing the natural pushing power of these cores. Carries like Anti-Mage and Naga Siren can also be natural counters. Anti-Mage with his high magic resistance and Naga who tends to build tanky items and his illusions to clear out proximity mines are generally good. It's also not the worst idea to buy a Quelling Blade on a support to help clear out trees in the lane where the Techies could potentially set up a trap. Especially if the Techies is playing on the off lane, he doesn't contribute a lot in terms of pure laning and harass. If a support can zone out the enemy offlaner and not get baited by the mines, it's a big win for your team as you have shut down 2 enemy heroes. It's also additional gold for a hero if you're able to hunt down some of these mines. Once the laning stage collapses, it's important for all the heroes to understand where it is possible to play on the map. Many heroes might not be able to use their natural farming patterns to farm. Rune spots are always in danger of having mines, so are common entry points in the jungle. As a support, sentry economy is important and you'll always have to reserve a few when your team is grouping up to take towers. As a core, avoid the temptation to push out lanes too far and then trying to take towers on your own, even if you can see the enemy heroes in other lanes. However, by far the most important aspect of playing against the Techies is not to get tilted. A calm approach and an understanding of when to farm and when to fight will be the key in winning. A couple of deaths to mines isn't necessarily the end of the game, and pinging your staff support for sentries will not be the solution.
No, they
Look at these
literally won the
pings!
fight
There's more
because of-
pings there in the current games of EU West, but added together at the moment. That's
Instead of pinging your supports, just don't farm. It's that simple. While many pros have advocated for taking Techies out of the game,
Before this tournament, I asked some Dota 2 people to remove the hero or nerf him.
Oh yeah, we're aware of that. Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Well, like
and granted the hero is one of the most unique designs in Dota 2, understanding how to play the hero and how to play against it will be crucial, especially as Valve tries to bring him into the meta more and more.